We have been removing videos for about 2 years now. If there was a video that was done on this platform because your story was on the news, was on some online publication or on the internet somewhere, and I covered it and it amplified it and made it even bigger. Well, I did not always know my reach and my influence, but I know it now. So if this is hindering you from a job or messing with your ministry or maybe your new marriage and all of the drama was with your former marriage, I don't know. It's been years, but I want you to email Larry Reid Live at gmail.com. If you email me there with the link to the post or to the video, give us about 48 hours and it will be totally removed. We've been doing this for 2 years. We have done it for so many people, and we want to continue to do it for as many people as possible. Now that we're sort of in a different way and moving differently for some years now. But those videos back then will get millions of views. So email Larry Reid Live at gmail.com. It's not our intention to hold your forward movement progress in your life in the past.
Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, author, and actor. Larry D. Reid is the founder of the MBN Network, owner of LDR Enterprises based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the spiritual leader of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. You can catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangsta Track Queens. Streaming online at BET.plus.
A lie has been told to you, and you have believed it.
It still has such an intensity, and the energy and the vibration in that place, you can feel it once you arrive.
At that moment, they allowed me to release my emotion.
Columbus never set a foot on any American soil before he dies.
The lie is being exposed.
This is for real. They took our strong and able people, but they could never take all Africans away. And today, we have returned in peace.
Looking for a vibrant community where faith meets empowerment? Welcome to the LRL community on Patreon. Here you'll gain access to our financial wellness plan to level up your money game and build your immune system, health and wellness lifestyle plan to keep your health in check. But that's not all. With the groundbreaking AIR project, we're creating jobs in Africa beginning in Ghana. Plus, you'll unlock insider tips from senior executives across industries. And the best part? Be part of daily prayers, weekly coaching sessions with Dr. Larry Reid himself, and so much more. It's time to connect, grow, and thrive. Get the apps, grab the merch, and join us at patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let's build something amazing together. The LRL community is waiting for you. Church Critic by Dr. Larry D. Reid. An examination of the Larry Reid Live show perspective. Purchase a copy today by logging on to LarryReidLive.com. That's LarryReidLive.com.
my name is Angel Perry. I am a proud member of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. I started out following Larry probably, I want to say back in 2019. I was an LRLer, listening to everything that he had to talk about. And the truth is, Larry just tickled me. In the very beginning, I just loved to hear him talk. Everything that he talked about, I started looking for other videos that he had posted, and just truly enjoyed who he was. And I felt such a connection, even to the simple things like when I watched his documentary and they talked about how Larry was tolerated. You know, and so long in my life, I felt that way, like tolerated. You know, so many different ways that I felt like I connected, like even to, you know, people in my family. I was the one that everyone came to whenever they needed anything, whether it was advice, whether it was finances, whatever it was. I've always been the person that people come to. But, you know, there were times when if I were the person in need, who do I go to? So I always had to make sure, like, I got to get this, I got to make this happen, you know. So I've always felt kind of a connection. But then I became a patron, and I started following really just to hear him talk more, because there was more stuff in Patreon, to be honest with you. So I started listening in Patreon, but then I started hearing people talk about, oh, if you're not here on for the calls on Sunday, you're missing it. So I started listening on Sunday. And when I tell you, that is the thing that changed my life so much for the better in so many ways. The first thing, you know, a lot of us have already talked about the financial wellness plan and what an impact that had. I've always been, you know, I pay my tithe. The way I talked about it, the language I used then was I paid my tithes, paid my offerings. And I've always been blessed in that way. But the difference when I started the financial wellness plan and I started learning about the teruma and I started learning about the seed, and, you know, you grow what you sow and you grow where you sow and those kinds of things. And my whole mentality started to change. I went from thanking God for being blessed to thanking God for being a blessing, and starting to ask God, okay, instead of what else can you bless me with, how can I be a blessing? My language even changed because I grew so much. And I went from what at the time we all considered good money to still it's just, you know, but I make 3 times what I made when I first encountered as an LRL, even back then. So that's grown. But more than the financial shift has been the spiritual shift. And I wouldn't say that I had church brain, but I absolutely had some church hurt. And a lot of that was going on. And I went through a phase where I left at least the 4 walls of the church, but I was still so in love with God, and I just needed some kind of connection, and I was trying to find what I was not finding until I became a patron and I started following Dr. Reid. And the more he talks about the African spirituality as a Christian, and also the acceptance of and realization that maybe there are other paths and other people have ideas, and just it has opened my mind to so much. And I've just grown exponentially, whether it's financially, which is the lowest form of prosperity, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally. The calls that you get from the prophets, all 5 of them, I just have to say, for me, they are on point. All of them have just blessed me in so many ways, and I'm so grateful that I am a member. And anybody else who is not a member, you don't know what you're missing. I ask you to come on and join us.
Even though he has not always been protected, he's always been a protector.
Broken people saw that signal and done what they thought they needed to do to the request that I was making, and they just chose improperly.
He never told me nothing. I knew nothing about it.
I feel like everyone in my family, in some form or way, has been fondled or molested or raped in some form or fashion.
I couldn't understand how God was in me because I was that.
Larry was tolerated versus celebrated.
There's a wrong way and right way to do everything, and Larry always seemed to choose the wrong way.
Yes, I was drugged and raped, and that happened when I was 17 years old. Misfits have an ability to stick out. But if the misfit accept that they absolutely cannot fit in, then they become someone with an X factor.
Stay connected to Larry Reid Live Take a moment and like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube page, and hit the bell. Text LRL to 404-999-7527. That's the words LRL to 404-999-7527. And get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, then download the Patreon app and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
We're about to have a conversation. All right, I'm sorry, Kendall. All right, welcome to the Larry Live Show. You know what, Nancy? I grabbed the wrong glasses. I didn't get no bracelet, no ring. Can you went out there and get it? Did it? So I can make sure I get. So I'm giving them. Make sure I'm giving them the Larry Live Show. I done came down here so quick. All right, can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. And I also, while we're doing this, let me know what city and what state that you are watching me from. If you are watching the Larry Live Show right now in another country, but you really are a citizen here in America and you just away from home, I don't want you to tell me where you at. Okay, y'all can hear me. Good, thank you. But if you are watching me in another country for real, then I want you to let me know that, because I want to know you're watching. I can't really trust all of these analytics. I mean, how we know if it's the truth or not? We really don't know. So I trust what I see in the chat. Lancaster, PA, Florida. I see you, Little Rock, Arkansas. Clayton, North Carolina. That's my big sister. All right. Jacksonville, Florida. Spartanburg, South Carolina. Richmond, Virginia. All right. Give me that. Medicine's over there. Hold on, they got something on these glasses. It's like the medicine in them is better than the medicine in them. No. Oh, it has something on it. Okay, I should have got. Let me get me something that where I can. Okay. All right, Larry Live about to come. Here we go. Here come Larry Live. Here we go. All right, this is the normal Larry Live look. Okay, but I don't wear this gold stuff like this every day. No more. I used to. Okay, I was looking at where people are from. Okay, Vallejo, California, the Flat, Sandy Springs. You're not too far from me. Wilson, North Carolina. Parker's Barbecue, cheese and fried chicken. Roanoke, Virginia. Sacramento, California. Chicago. Orlando, Florida, Waycross. You're not too far, not terribly. Columbia, South Carolina, Indianapolis, Indiana. All right. I see y'all in here from coast to coast. We from coast to coast. We got that middle part, Arizona. You know, I went to Phoenix, Arizona to a conference, Bishop Yvette Flunder. I have never in my life felt heat like that. That is the hottest heat I have ever felt in my entire life. I ain't never felt nothing like that. And I felt Dubai hot. That Phoenix hot is something else. I don't know what has happened over there. I think somebody was telling me when I was in the Uber or Lyft or whoever was driving us, they were saying something about the placement of the mountains, and you can go on the other side and it's a totally different temperature. Atlanta, Georgia, Washington, D.C. I see you. Okay. All right. Now what I need for you to do, I need for you all to hit like so that we can have this conversation absolutely. And the conversation that we're having today is not a new conversation. We've had the conversation concerning blackness and whiteness, whether it's privilege, whether it is a matter of consciousness. We've had the conversations that are all about deconstruction and all about decolonization. We've had some of the most amazing conversations on this platform for several years, all the way back to 2018. Started the platform 2016, but in 2018, I think it was 19, when there was some issues, black-white issues that rose, and also in 16, because we were live during the George Floyd. We've had this conversation. This platform is about deconstruction, decolonization, church reform, blackness, social justice, liberation, astrology, numerology, African spirituality, comparing Western Christianity with African Christianity. I mean, we do it here well. We do. And thanks to all of you that have watched the show all these years. Thank you for those of you that are hitting like right now on Facebook. Please continue to hit like. Please continue to hit like if you are on YouTube as well, so that more of the followers will see us, because we've been shadow banned for a long time because I'm always saying something that the system that is in power don't like. And so they hide it. They hide my posts when it comes to my songs that are to encourage all of you, and in my books and writings. But then if I post something that's just absolutely ridiculous, they open it up to all of my followers. They don't really like us to be in a important, empowering, liberating conversation. They don't. That is the truth. That is why you're going to see the big numbers on two different types of creators. The creators that are in that world of their expertise, doing what it is, whether that is DIY, whether that is money, finance, gaming, gossip. But if you lock into that niche and that becomes what you do, oh yeah, absolutely. Even lifestyle, that if you just do it, they want you to do that because it makes people come onto their platform where they can make money off of you. That's what it is. And push all of your followers. And that's just what they do. But then if you want to do something different, or if you want to get those followers to support something you're doing that they don't have their hands in, they'll push that and they'll support that. And so we need those of you that really like us as Black content creators to talk about us with everybody that you know. We're at right. Don't feel bad when you let folk know, I'm an LRLer. If they look a certain kind of way, you be like, okay, you don't even know who LRL. You caught up in the viral stories from millions of views years ago. You don't know what this is. All right, fine. So this is what hold on for a minute. No. Interesting. All right. All right. Nottoway plantation burned. 10 inmates escape Louisiana prison. Black pastor with white souls in DC. Jesus is coming back soon. I was with you all the way until the whole Jesus is coming back soon, because he's not. But it's good that you're able to lay these parallels out, because this is extremely important to look at. And we talked about it here on the platform. Our last live, explosive, because when we begin to see this white fear conjuring in this doll that came into a Black space where we still have Black blood in the soil that has not spoken freely since they have crossed over to the ancestral plane. It was a perfect disturbance, because all of that energy the collective fear that we have on that, it makes that doll like a totem or a conduit, rather. And bringing that into an already very spiritually open space just brought an imbalance. And in that imbalance, the ancestors pierced that thin veil. That is my belief. If you want to believe Donald Trump is God's prophet, I can believe that the ancestors anointed that boy to swim through that water and pick up more of that ancestral spirit, because we are in the sun and we're in the water. And take that chair, a white chair, and hit white people over the head. I can also believe that the ancestors burnt down that place of torment, that you made a house of beauty, if there's such a thing. So that's what I believe. Okay, I see this. I didn't want to get into that, Reverend John Scott. So y'all read what he said. He's talking about when I told that girl I was with you all the way down to that last part. He's answering, Christ is here now. Oh, I wouldn't want to kill nobody's hopes tonight, but I want you to, what's that Wednesday before the Sunday morning of Reformation? What's that date? What's that date? Because that's the day Reverend Scott going to be here with me, along with another spiritual son of Bishop Carlton Pearson, D.E. Paul, and then Bishop Apostle Janine Hyman, who was excellent on the panel last time. So July, it can't be the 9th because the 20th is the Sunday. So that can't be the 9th. The 16th. So July the 16th, we're going to be in the other studio here, the Soundstage studio. We're going to be in the Soundstage studio with these great voices. We're going to have a live audience. That's day one of Reformation. You don't want to miss that. That Wednesday night, tell your pastor you're not coming to church, because you're going to stay at the house and pull up your YouTube and you're going to watch us on July the 16th. Have an amazing conversation of deconstruction, decolonization. And these are scholars. So it's going to be next level. So make sure you put it on your calendar, please. All right. All right. So let's get into this conversation. I want to say this. This is not a conversation that I would have, because in this story, now we have been addressing any pastor, preacher that's talking crazy sideways and off, and we think we can pull it to have a conversation and compare and contrast. We've been doing it here, but I won't going to discuss anything that would be connected to my former mentor, who I love, the Archbishop Eben R. Jordan. But I can't run away from this now or anymore. I've been running away from it for months. And so I just now have to share the story. So I don't know what you have heard, but probably what you have heard, if it ain't been out my mouth, is a complete lie. So I'm going to tell you the truth, the whole truth. Now, y'all know me. There are parts I am leaving out. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. But what I'm leaving out is just, I mean, that's that serious to me, at least. So just leaving that stuff out. Because I know talking about this, I'm going to have to talk about that too. And so I'm going to do that. I want you to know it's very difficult to do, because I don't want it to look like something is not. Because I honor this man, and I will always honor him. He mentored me from 2019 till about November when it was officially over in 2024. So the level of honor and love that I have for him has not changed at all. Am I disappointed? Yes. Am I let down? Yes. Am I emotional about it? I was very emotional about it. I'm so glad nobody saw me but those that were with me in Ghana in November. And I'm a complete 100% human, but I'm one of the most loyal people you're ever going to find. There is no such thing as mad day for me. I'm not saying that I'm going to leave a situation and not say nothing to nobody. I didn't say that. I talk to people that are close to me in my life that I love and trust. But I don't feel like that's the world's business. But now that the world has been poured into some of it, I gotta say something about it. Now, let me know how you guys feel about that. Because I know some people like, I don't care. You ain't gotta say nothing. Then other people are like, thank you. Thank you. So I want to know what you feel and what you think about it. There are about 1,300 of you watching between YouTube and Facebook. Let me know what you think about it. And I think I also owed it to you because my relationship with Bishop Jordan was very public. And to just leave you dangling, I think I would do it, but I did do it. But now that I'm thinking back on it, that maybe I shouldn't have did that. But I did try to say as much as possible without, saying too much. I didn't think it was my place to say certain things. But now that it's public, Paula White has made it public, and Bishop Jordan himself on his IG page, I saw, has made it public. So I'm going to share. All right, so let's look at the big picture. And let me remind you, there will be no dishonoring of Bishop Jordan in my chat. I just want to be very clear that. I don't care if you've been following the platform for 100 years. If you disrespect Bishop Jordan in my chat, I'm going to block you. And there are no refunds with the MBN network. So do not disrespect Bishop Jordan in my chat. Don't disrespect the other pastors I got to discuss. Medina Pullins, because I have a relationship with her and her husband. Maybe y'all didn't know that. I was one of the bishops in their organization. You can't disrespect Medina Pullins and her husband either. I don't know Wayne T. Jackson. I know Bishop George Bloomer. I don't really care if you disrespect him or not. Just the nature of our relationship. It's up and down. I mean, some stuff he do, I just can't. But I'm going to tell you about that too. But when it comes to Bishop Jordan, because that is someone that God used to teach me how not to shrink. And I had a shrinking spirit. He also taught me, and it really was around money. So it's all one thing. Just taking away that shame and that mindset around money and things of that nature. God used him to do that. That is the main thing that I learned from him, is a better relationship with my money self and money itself. So you can't dishonor that man with me. I don't care what you see, how you see it. You can tell the truth, but you just can't come a certain kind of way. Because you come a certain kind of way, then I'm gonna have to handle you. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to handle you. But this is no longer private. So let me show you the video that all of you guys have been texting to each other, but not on the internet and talking about. Y'all know how we do. That's what we do. Y'all come online, try to act holier than thou. I just think some things should just be private. When you one of the main folk, the first thing you see screenshot and sending into that text or call somebody ain't verified shit. You know, I don't even move like that, but you move like that. But then you want to judge me. No. The only reason I have to discuss this, number one, is because the Spirit said to do so. I was watching Thais, and he played the video, which I didn't know he was going to do. And but that's fine. It's his show. And they sort of slipped into the conversation. And I'm watching Thais. You know, Thais is hilarious. I was dying. Official Thais report. Follow him. I don't know what happened. Reading the comments in the chat put me back in the spirit that I was in when the video hit. And when that happened, it's like I went back into their energy and I was like, I gotta say something. I said, okay, I don't do it. Just do a general black pastors thing. You know, I can just do that. That's easy. But Spirit was like, you gotta be more direct. That made me a little uncertain. So I'm going to approach this with honor, but I am going to say that what I've been saying. You can just hear me say what I've been saying. Oh, that's my friend from DC. I love you. I know this is hard, but the suspense community. Now, see, this community might not know Lorenzo, but my community, the people around me, y'all know, they probably all going crazy in chat. Oh, Boston. You know, he been in my life since 98. No, 97, Cole, before I moved to Fayetteville. 1997. Yeah, long time. Okay, so here we go. So the Spirit told me to do this, just like the Spirit told me to no longer embrace Bishop Jordan as my mentor. For those of you that want that story, I'll tell you this piece now, and then I'll tell the rest of the story at the end. Look at Joy. Did I tell y'all? Oh, I miss Boston. Oh, Michael. That's family. So that's not like one of these new fans on the internet. No, that's family. So anyway, the Spirit of God told me in Ghana, he said, what I used to bring you here is not what I'm using to take you there. Now, there have been 3 times in my life where God has said that to me, maybe 4. But this time it was so severe. It was like a cold chill inside that I knew if I didn't work with this, that there are going to be some problems. And so in the moment, I was a yes. But I had all these feelings. So there's some things that God had to let me see, make me rehear by playing it over before my eyes like a movie, just so that I can be like, okay, because in my mind, I'm like, Bishop Jordan is like my 4th mentor in my life, and he's walking with me here. How come he can't go with me there? Let me tell y'all something. I know you've been in the same situation, whether it been with your church, your pastor, or something. They said this man mentored me since 2019 to November 2024, and I can't say nothing but job well done. Job well done. Mission accomplished. Job well done. That's a check and a star on his crown, because he did, as I explained, exactly what he was supposed to do. And also, many of you may not know how we became, but God told me why I was in his life as well. And Larry, job well done. My job was to, and I didn't have the platform at the time, but still building, said use your platform to change how people view him. And I think I did. Which is another reason. Which is another reason why it was difficult. But I get to that. So the Spirit had to tell me to do this because you guys were only going to get what I've been given. I don't want to, but I am a yes. This is not a matter of what I want to do. It's a matter of just being a yes, and I don't really look forward to it, but my silence gives space. You might not know nothing about it, but it gave space to propaganda, to assumption, to lying, to people just making up stuff. And I just let it ride. You know, and then text exchange, me and Bishop Jordan, you know, sort of laughed with that back in November. I don't want to ever get into performing for an audience. And in my performance, I myself am not in authenticity. I did that before. I already did that before I met y'all. I'm not doing that in my life no more. So it's just going to be what it is. When I saw this video, and y'all know the conversations we've been having here. When I saw this video, I was terribly vexed. There were two videos I saw, but I'm only going to show the one that Paula White put up. So let me play it right now. Here we go. It's our God. Sing with me how great is our God. Always sing how great is our God. Let's watch again. It's our God. Sing with me how great is our God. Always sing how great is our God. Now, did you guys see the video a couple of months back for the white pastors gathering, the white evangelicals? Now, no black pastor was invited to that I know. There are plenty of pastors, black pastors in that room that I know. They don't let you guys know that they know me, but I know them. And none of them were invited. We were invited, yes, Larry was invited 2 times to Trump functions at the end of last year and the last one earlier this year. And I was a no. Then the next time I was asked, I was a hell no. The first time I was asked, me and Bishop was still in mentor-mentee relationship. And now that I think back, you know, he was laughing at me because I could make Bishop laugh. And he can make me laugh. And he was laughing at my response. That this nigga, I'm being me. And he's laughing. I'm like, there's no way in the world that I would do that. What do they think of? And Paula White knows me. It's not a matter of Paula White knows me. I know her. She know I know her. She know that I know she know me because of George Bloomer. So I don't know why they didn't tell Mark Burns, which was one of the ones that called me to invite me. I knew Daryl Scott wasn't going to call me because we butt heads, and I love him. We butt heads or something went wrong in our relationship. We quit talking. Oh, I remember what it was about. And I know he will be able to tell them that Larry Reid, he ain't changing. He the same all the way. He always been the same. I'm pretty sure with a lot of cuss words. I knew Dara Scott wouldn't come. I knew Paula White wouldn't reach out to me directly at all. And George Bloomer knew not to call me because I told him. And we had a discussion when he had asked me one time, you know, because all of us have relationships. Y'all know it. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen behind the scenes. Y'all know we have real relationships. So he already knew how I was feeling and how disappointed I was in Bishop Jordan's stance. And at that time I was really confused, but I'm not anymore. And so he wouldn't call me. So when Mark Burns called me, and y'all know I know Mark Burns. He was on my show in 2018. I interviewed him. He came in with all these white women. I have something to say about black men with white wives. I have something to say about it. I'm not saying there's any judgment, but there's questions. There are questions, because I just want to make sure this is about love. I don't have a problem with whites with blacks at all, but I think sometimes us as black people, and sometimes white people, but I'm not white, so let me speak to black people. We just don't get clear. Clearly, that is the case, because when Donald Trump won, many interracial couples busted up. Many white families busted up. So there's something to be said about that. D.E., John Scott, y'all have it at. So y'all white. But to the black woman that marries a white man and a black man that chooses a white woman, there are questions. It's no judgment, because I believe in love. Love any kind of way, for the most part. Just loving animals and stuff, I ain't got to that. I don't know if I ever get to it. Just I don't understand it. I'm talking about romantically. But there are questions, because I want to make sure that for me, I just need to know certain things. I mean, if we're going to be friends. If we ain't friends, I see you in passing, hug, kiss both of you. I don't care. That's your life. Anyway, so I saw the video and y'all acted like this was a story as big as Bishop Jakes, Diddy, and all that kind of stuff. And I do understand a lot of you guys were hurt. I want you to put in the chat one word, what describes how you felt when you saw our Bishop Jordan, because he was ours. I gave him to you. I introduced you to him. Some of you was a reintroduction. What was your feeling? Betrayal. Disgusted. Kendall says disappointed. Why? Letitia saying again, why? Disappointed, disappointment. Okay. Sick and disappointed, Brandy says. Disgusted. Perplexed. Confused. I heard that a lot. Shocked, Calvin Berry was. Frustrated. Wait a minute. Charlene. She said unbothered. I know where that's coming. Flabbergasted. Hurt. I see. Confused. Heartbroken. Opportunist. Now you telling me what you felt about him. I need you to tell me what you felt personally, because I introduced you to him. You had a relationship on some level with him. Many times he came up here and you donated, you gave to my ministry and to him. So I understand the betrayal. I understand the confused. I understand the disappointment. I get that. Romeo Ross said it didn't care. Maybe you want to invest it. Somebody said wrong team. Somebody said there was disgusted. Okay, there's a lot of disgusted. Somebody said not surprised. I would like to know why. I'm going to drop the link at the end. Flabbergasted. Rhonda Jones said, not surprised. I got y'all. And I know some of you embraced him because I embraced him. That's fine. I'm seeing a lot of my highest donors saying not surprised. Celestial Circle is pretty much, confirmation. Okay. Well, there's a lot of you saying disgusted, betrayed. So I'm talking to you guys. I want to talk to you guys. And I think those of us that are able, I think we should support them because I get it. But maybe by the end of this, you at least can understand. All right. So white evangelism feels its grips are beginning to slip. And whenever they feel that way, they always reach for black. They do it at a local church level. They do it in every corporation. Whenever they want to empower themselves more and to get to their goal, they need that last thing. We watch the Democratic Party do it. We watch the Republican Party do it. We watch people reach for black whenever they need that last bit of momentum because they feel a slip. They always pull on the black preacher. And it's last. They already had the white pastor thing. Then they came together and prayed 159 times. But they needed a certain kind of black. And see, this is, oh my God, I can't. They needed a certain kind of black in those moments, a cooperative black. I want you to put in the chat, I am not a cooperative black. If you black in here, black skin, even if you white, you can say it because black is also a consciousness as well. It's also a political stance. It is also a stand against whiteness. So even the white people in the chat can say, I am not. Well, you might can't say you're cooperative black because it is skin related. You can say, I am whatever you feel like saying about black. All right. Yeah, because this is about black skinned people. We are not a corrupt. There's a certain kind. There's a black person that whiteness makes, and then there is a black person that God made in the image of Himself. I love that, Naomi. I'm not a token black. But my black does not cooperate with white need. My black does not cooperate with white fragility. My black does not cooperate with whitewashed European Western Christianity or any aspect of it at all. And I want to say a warning to those of you that are black church leaders and you still in these European, Roman, Eurocentric attire, the bishop's collar. I know this may offend even people that are my friends. Oh well, oh hell. You need to really right now consider distancing your Christianity from every aspect of whiteness and Rome so that your stance is clear. You need to begin to get dressed for the job that's ahead. And it is not what you have been wearing. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because every last one of these people that's on this flyer, they put on that dress. They put on that collar. They do that high church stuff. God told me years ago when they were about to make me really ordain me a bishop, He said, you can't do that and what I call you to do as a prophet. Now, if you were in my ministry back then, you remember that. I tore the scroll up. There is the ancient organized religious institution called the church, and then there is the church. And Larry can't support it. Bishop has to be redefined before I will embrace something like that. It has to be reformed because that is whiteness. Oh God. Somebody said, Bishop, you obviously don't know Larry if you have to ask him that question. What Bishop who? What's she talking about? I didn't see a bishop comment either, baby. So I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, hey, Bishop Vanessa Brown. How you doing? Oh, you said Bishop Yvette Flunder been looking for new garbs. Baby. I know she's been to Africa before. She got her measurements. I can ship them over there and she getting one of them things. She would look good in that. As holy as that woman is, the air around her that's that holy, and she could put on fabric that move. She be walked past y'all and laid y'all out. Okay. It's time for us to get really serious about decolonizing and deconstructing. No white pastor or preacher should have been going to the White House unless you are going there with matches. I'm not talking about anybody being harmed, but you understand clearly what I'm saying. Not the way. Not one black person. Pastor, prophet, bishop, archbishop, or whatever should be walking to the house that slaves built without transformative and reformative intentions by fire. Not one. This lets me know you're disconnected from the ancestors' cause. At the same time, you there, the ancestors are down in New Orleans burning up and revealing what was buried. It is not a beautiful 53,000 square foot resort mansion. It is a place of torment. That is not a black house, it's a white house. And it looks just like a plantation house. It's your quintessential plantation house in the South. The White House is. No black person should walk towards it without the spirit of fire. Not one. I can't help but be Tadara and Etheline's son. And I don't know a black man who stands more against whiteness. Well, yes, I do. That would be me. Because my dad is very traditional in his faith, and a lot of that is white Christianity. But it got him off of alcohol, so he's going to hold to that until he dies. But that didn't save me. I got saved a different way. I got saved in the house. I come from that group that go from house to house, casting out demons, having prayer. That's where I came from as a 15-year-old boy and started prophesying. I've always had deep conviction for what is right. I ain't always done what was right. But when the wrong I did, I always was in the place of turning it into what is proper. When that white man, I look back now and I see what it is, took his finger and painted a black face on George Bloomer and texted to him. How many remember that? And that was sent to me. I threw my phone and stood up in the chair. I said, you mean to tell me that this man that you have been sitting every Friday night on the Word Network gathering black dollars to support this white Jew got enough gall to do blackface, then send it to you? I was livid. Now, this is what I didn't know, and I never came back and told y'all. And now it's clear, so I'm going to tell you now. I understand that I sat between Bishop Jordan and Bishop Bloomer in my passion that spawned a protest that ultimately tanked the Word Network. Because Bishop Paul Morton pulled up. There, some of them were standing with Bloomer because he had buried bodies for them for years. He's a fixer. He is. But some was doing it because it was like, Larry is calling out every black pastor on the Word Network. I don't want my name in that. Neil Ellis came on. Bishop Neil Ellis took the stand. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember that it's still online, I think. But now I understand that I was being used. Let's just call a thing a thing. They used me. The only one of them that I can say that I know for 100%, that don't mean anybody else really did. I'm just telling you what I, looking back, who did not have any negative intention towards me, that did not see me as a cash cow, that did not see me as a come up, that did not see me as a media influencer to fix their life, was Bishop Carlton Pearson. The one that everybody said, except for Jordan, because he stood there with him, was this, that, and the other at some point in time. That's supposed to be not saved, you know. Was Bishop Carlton Pearson. But they used me. I'm very clear on that. There was a group of them that used me, used my platform and my voice. They were mad because they didn't have a seat at the table. It was a cash thing. It was a money thing. I was upset because blackness was being used. Now I see. Because now Jordan and Bloomer are walking with this administration. Bloomer is about to receive something from Paula White administration by way of Trump. And I have a feeling that because Bishop Jordan went, that they're going to ask him something. And he probably is going to be a yes. This wasn't just a gathering, you guys. It was a strategic photo op as a political chess move. And these black pastors, in my opinion, did not have discernment enough to see it, because discernment has to be decolonized as well. This is why it's important for you to go through, hand in hand with the coach, decolonization and deconstruction, because all of your gifts have to go through the same purging. But these black pastors' discernment, in my opinion, has not been decolonized. And so they couldn't discern what we all see very clearly. This is a political chess move. You're not going to be able to get something that is substantial and proper and without strings for the black community by kissing the ring and sitting at the table that they have prepared. The scriptures say, I prepared the table in the presence of your enemy. This is a Trump table. They wanted a seat at the table. I wanted to burn the table. And I am burning it even as I stand right here, sit right here, and speak. Now I understand Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's assassination. Now I understand. George Bloomer calling me now because somebody telling him something. He calling me to find I don't know I'm lying because he don't do social media. This is a problem. And it is wrong. I'm live right now. I'll call you back. This is wrong. I mean, as relates to the black community, we need black leaders. We don't need leading blacks. Black leaders are going to take a stand for blackness. There's going to be no negotiation. When black bodies are used to bless systems, they were in worship, you guys. What? I understand black worship. When black bodies are used to bless systems that betray black lives, it's not unity. It's a wicked spiritual, political monstrosity that affects black consciousness negatively because we see the image. No. I told y'all, somebody said, well, God let Trump run. I said, God ain't in no voting system. There's no God in any of this politics, any of this thing. I told you guys that. I said the only thing that is spiritual or has any God connect is your vote that you cast. The vote that you cast tells us about God in you, your God perspective, your God concept. Oh, yes, it does. So I want you guys to understand, because out of all these people, we know the most Bishop Jordan. I know most Bishop Jordan. There will be no shift in my honor of Bishop Jordan. But there is no alignment at all, none. Let me repeat that. Because I think y'all think if you honor somebody, then you gotta, oh, that's a lie. And let me tell you why I honor. I'm smart. I ain't no stupid person. I got sense enough to know. I got deposits from him, positive stuff that happened. If I dishonor him, all those deposits leave my life. But I can hold you in honor. And I can also say, I'm not aligned. And what you have done, what you're choosing to do, is injurious to the community that we are. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm called to walk in several different truths without compromise. And it took me years to get qualified in my character to speak on certain things. I couldn't speak on certain things because I hadn't fixed it in me yet. And I know everybody likes doing that. I remember one time me and Carm was having a conversation. He said, well, if the word is tight and I'm messing up in it, I still got to preach it. I said, no, I don't agree with that. That's strange. You're gonna mess with your consciousness. Of course, now you know he's a lot different. But there is no way in hell that I'm going to tell you and be on my soapbox about something, and then I'm not right myself. I've done it out of ignorance, lack of therapy, lack of healing, and just being young. But I'm here now. I will not say one thing out my mouth and then my life is going to be something else. I'm not doing that. So I can't align for the sake of power, access, opportunity, and money. I don't care how much it is. I can't be bought. I don't care how many millions. I don't care what my need is. I used to live in my car, the old nasty car I had back then, not a Maybach or something or Rolls Royce parked anywhere. No, it don't matter. What mattered to Larry is my people. I'm talking about you, even although those I may not even know you, but if you're a human, you're my people, and if you black, you're my people. I can't vote, sit with, support. I can't even give the illusion that I do. God won't let me do that. I can't do that. And then you're harmed by the same person I am honoring, and how great is that? That's so weird to me. And then for blackness to be submitted, not just in the White House, but to white worship. That's Chris Tomlin's song. Ain't no black man. That's not happening. And you shouldn't do it. And anybody you know that's doing it, you need to have a conversation with them. Sometimes it's best not even talk to people. It's just to go move in the way God tells you to do, and it just be as it is. Larry would not be a leading black. Not simply a leading black. I'm going to be a black leader. And by being a black leader, that means I may have to go the hard route. But that's all right. All right, I got some more stuff to say. This was not a gathering of prophets, y'all. I don't know if y'all understand how or discerning how spiritually significant black bodies been in the White House and white worship in a department created by a white man who I believe is racist, who appointed a white master that have been on the black plantation to gather those same black bodies. I can't help but see it as what it is. Why you don't see it as that? Medina is beautiful. Oh my God. And so sweet. And she had her black, excuse me. And she had her hind end in Paula White's. But you know, she likes power. Whoever is up, when Juanita in the week, she was over there. And Rob Parsley, she was over there all the time. So she used to these white spaces, so I really shouldn't be surprised, and I really ain't, but I just don't like it. Wayne T. Jackson, I saw the records. You gave money to Trump. You asked Trump to come to your church. And see, Wayne T. Jackson, I know him and Bishop's pretty close. Their whole family take vacations and stuff together in times past. Bishop Bloomer and Jordan been friends for years. I know Bloomer did not vote for Donald Trump, but I also know Bloomer is an opportunist. He is. If they can get some money out of it, he's going to do it. And I have to be fair, because the only reason I won't say it about Bishop Jordan is because I honor him so much. But I know there's some similarities of that same thing there. But it's unfortunate. Okay, anyway. Are we clear on the gathering? This was not a... This could have been done without Paula White posting it. This could have been done, and Jordan didn't post it, but he did, which I just can't believe that. I still can't, because the conversation we had, me, him, and Manasseh have a thread. Ain't no conversation been going on for months now, but I remember a conversation. I'm gonna share this because I know he shared it. He didn't share it publicly. Well, I ain't gonna share that, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I was totally 100% not expecting for his stance to become public, more public, meaning outside his community. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all. At all. None. And I still don't understand it, but it happened. So now I'm in this position to where I sort of have to speak on it, but I wasn't going to. I was gonna let y'all, whatever y'all make up and feel, go right on head on. I mean, I don't care, and I'm built for this. You can go out there and tell somebody I am a whole woman and I don't have no peen and got a puss, and I tape down my titties every time I'm in public just so nobody know that I'm a whole butch lesbian, but no. I would have just let it ride, but I couldn't. I know when spirit is pulling on me. I'm very clear, and I couldn't do that. Okay, somebody said good question. I see one of my leaders saying that. Denise saying good question. Who she's talking to? Let me see this before I move on. Head on. I wonder if him posting was part of the deal. Y'all, hell if I know. I don't know. But I do know colonized Christianity and its leaders always reward compliance. That's why they call on the docile ones. They wouldn't call me. They call on the ones they know that are at least negotiators. And they want the influential prophetic ones. See, white evangelicalism know that black Pentecostalism resurged them twice in America. We came with the emotions, with the prophecy, with the spirituality, with the dancing, and they saw dollars. And they began to acquiesce to it. So they had to pull us in. Bishop Carlton Pearson was like the first one for this last resurgence that they pulled on. And then he was strategically killed. And y'all know that was one of the problems I had with Bishop Jakes, because then he took his place. They always reward compliance. Always. How? can America's black prophet of God, and he's still that, not know you're going to an altar of confusion? This ain't no prayer gathering. And then somebody sent me a clip of him explaining, oh, how wonderful it was. There was such a presence in the room. We saw what it was. But what has hijacked you in this moment to see this as something that we all are clear is not? I don't understand that. But that don't mean that he's not a prophet, y'all. That don't take away from any of the work he's done in our life. Even we had the same conversation with his Gemini twin that's born days apart, Bishop Jakes. They have done great things in our world. But we got to tell the truth when that thing off. We can't do no dance. No, this is off. There's no other way. We know this off. See, we praying. We have to pray a whole lot harder than people who got a whole lot of money. Because we're activating our faith for the eggs. We're activating our faith for the payment. We're activating our faith, consistently. We're engaging in the spirit realm with the heart of God and the angels and the ancestors. We have to. We have to engage on a personal level. Now, if you're a rich prophet, your engagement in the spirit world is going to be a little bit different than the engagement with someone who has these other obstacles. There is a difference. I made a decision when I made my first 1 million in about 45 days. I remember everything my mama, the mothers taught me. Don't you ever negotiate your prayer life. Because the reality is, in this capitalistic system, if you got money and access and influence, you don't need God. Okay, now, let me drink me some water so I don't cough so much while y'all sit back and think on that. In context of the American, Black American, Brown American, female American struggle, and the rich white Black person's struggle, you need God here, but you don't need him up there. You got that? In context of that, you don't need, because the system, God didn't build capitalism, because the only thing that make capitalism work is racism. This is why these dumb white folk right here talking about, you Black, you can't be racist. You think it's skin, dummy. Racism is system. It's under the skin. It's not possible for me to be racist because I didn't make the system. I don't own the system. And the system was made without me being even recognized as human. And still to this day, my life don't matter because copper take it quick. Don't care about I got kids. And who love me and my mom and my dad and sister. Just because Pharaoh invites you to his palace or her palace doesn't mean God approved the visit. The invite could be a trap, a well thought out confusion. Prophets don't accept invites from regimes that spill Black blood of our moms and our daughters, that handles the immigrant the opposite of the way that Jesus, the scripture, said to handle the immigrant. No, if I'm coming as a prophet, you invited me. but I'm coming to prophesy. Now, I don't know how to do that. And those of you that I saw, like Bostic, where I know some even farther back than Bostic that may be in the chat, y'all know me. I'll be the first thing the Spirit pick up in church when something is wrong. Going to people, pull them to the altar, prophesying what they did the last night. This has always been my thing. Even before I got filled with the Holy Ghost, when I won't saved. I remember guy Cecil was getting bullied. That's how we met. He got bullied in the bathroom, and Thais reminded me of Cecil. And I went in where he was, and I got beside him and helped pull up his pants. I don't know if you remember this. And we became friends because I don't like to see people handled wrong. It's my nature. See, my nature along with my anointing and my assignment make me confront stuff. And I can't sit with it. Y'all heard what my mom and daddy said. I've always been like this. So I do not understand how any black person, I do not care. If you ain't got no title and nothing significant, you work 9 to 5, but it's a good parent. I don't get it. You can't go unless the Lord has sent you. And if the Lord sent you, there is evidence that he did. Now you're complicit with the spirit. This ain't that kind of show, but rombondula mafolaka. Now you complicit with the spirit because you have not said anything. This is every black prophet, white, black conscious prophet. You should have been doing what Bishop Carlton Pearson was doing the last 4 years of his life online, talking about Trump and the administration. You haven't said nothing, and this man has done everything anti-Christ, anti-Christian. You ain't said nothing. And now you want to go preach, teach amongst the black community and not make a mention of what they are suffering and dealing with, and the fact that God is against America. And you're not even telling God's people that and making sure they're clear. But you're doing this illusion of, well, God is using this. What? Show me the scripture. Show me the time in history where that was what God said. And anytime I don't want to offer, show me a pattern of my God. You ain't going to find it because it's a lie. It's not true. Something happens when prophets get old. And I teach this in the school of prophets and mystics. And I've taught it for, I'm 47. I started first teaching at my school of prophets in the church I was assistant pastor of in Goldsboro, North Carolina, until they sent word that what I was teaching was ungodly in the apostolic church. And I was young and the church was growing and I was the assistant pastor. So that was the problem. It was a power thing. There are phases of the prophet: infantile, young, adult, and old. When a prophet gets old, they hear voices. Okay, let me just sign off. But it's in your Bible. The young prophet heard a word from the Lord, going the direction God said. Then the old prophet gives him another word, and saying, but essentially God sent me to tell you to go this way. The young prophet, because the older prophet, follow, was killed. That won't never be Larry Reid. Let me tell you why. Because I am only going to follow what he said. Y'all, I may stumble along the way. I'm just going to say this, but it's not in my makeup to do. I could get somebody pregnant. I could. I could do something improper. I could. But you will never find me negotiating the character of my assignment and those that I serve. If you're going to find a flaw, it's going to be in my humanity is what I'm saying. It's not going to be in my work and in my assignment. And anything going on in my humanity is not about to frick up my assignment. That's not happening. And you can do whatever you want to do to me. And those of you that are probably watching from my past decades ago, you know this about me. You know that I follow my conviction. Even if you don't like me no more, you know this show tonight is who you know me to be. This is me. You know it. And I've always been like this. If I'm convicted about something, nobody, an angel can't come out of heaven and tell me different. And the scriptures say, if he do, let him be accursed. My stand for blackness and black people is not personal, it's prophetic. Hear me. My stand for blackness and black people is not personal. It is 100% prophetic. I mean, if I can just bring it all the way down, because that white skin, I like to go in every once in a while. Let me drink on that. So trust me, if it was personal, I might say something a little different. Because some of the best, wait a minute. Some of the best I ever had was white skin, whether it was Asian or Native American. Yeah. So if it was personal, I'd be saying something else. But my stand for blackness and the reason for doing this show, and I'm about to end. Oh, I need to tell y'all the other thing I said too. The actual story of the disconnection between me and Bishop Jordan. So I'm going to do that after this. But let me finish this here. What I'm saying, what I'm doing, what I'm teaching, what I'm living, I'm giving tens of thousands of dollars all the time in Ghana, making sure we're about to negotiate to start producing food in Ghana. Then we're going to another negotiation for a school in Ghana. We're doing things. We're doing it. Do y'all know? I don't have to do that. It is my prophetic calling. I'm trying to be very clear. And I know I may be speaking loud. I don't want y'all to think I'm emotional or mad. I'm not. I process this, and I know it's raw for you. But the Spirit told me to be clear tonight and unapologetic. The Spirit told me not to be silent and to say it tonight, give it words. I didn't cut ties with a person in November. I obeyed what God told me. There's a difference. Now, are you guys clear? And I got to talk a little bit more about something I said. I know I got to say this. Somebody said, is this in Prophet Jordan's book about going to the White House? I don't care if it is. One of my prophets prophesied it to him. I think I dreamed it. I dreamed we was there together. Do y'all know how coded, layered prophecy is? That don't mean shacked. It don't mean shacked. I dreamed about being in the White House. So the day that I go, that means it was the will of God? No, that means Larry lost his mind on that day and went. And y'all need to call every prophet you know and come where I'm at and stop me because I'm out of my mind. All right. Okay, so let me tell you the story, synchronize to give you the pattern of events. What time is it? Oh, I did good. 1:31. Let me give you the pattern of the sequence of events. Okay, so this is how it happened. What is it? Okay. Are y'all ready for this? Everybody hit like hit. Oh shoot! What am I thinking? We got bills to pay. All right, I'm about to tell y'all the story. It's very personal. Don't nobody take this and play with this online now. Don't. This is sensitive. Don't mess with people's lives, with people's life and ministry. This, y'all know I love Bishop Jordan. Do not start calling him no names and stuff. You know what? Some of y'all, I want y'all to, so the she bears will come get you. If you've been disrespectful. I mean, if you're just telling the truth in commentary, that's one thing. Go ahead talking about it so you can get ate up. Okay, so let me do this. If you love this conversation, now over there on the left, it goes straight to me. It's still tax deductible. Dr. Larry D. Reid Ministries, INC. You go to IamLarryDReid.com. If you want to send something to me, do it there. Because you can write me 2 or 3 sentences and you may have a prophetic word for me. You may have felt something when I've been talking. I want you to do your donation through PayPal, and you do that by going to IamLarryDReid.com and then click donate, and that processes through PayPal. So in the memo section there, and since it's the 18th of 8 moment, we're doing $18.88. So everybody do $18.88. If you can't do $18.88, do $8.88. So that's on the left. On the right, it goes to the ministry. So if you want one of the prophets to call you, pray with you, and give you the prophetic word, then you need to do your $18.88 on the right-hand side of the screen. $18.88. All those different ways you can do it. Pushpay.com/G for giving the MBN network. Zelle info@thembnnetwork.org. Venmo @MBN Network. Cash App $MBN Network. Text the word give to 404-800-4530. Or of course, go to our website, thembnnetwork.org. Click donate. If you have the MBN network, I meant to tell y'all this. I need for y'all to get all these apps. Get all these apps right here. And out of your Google and Apple store. We had a situation in the Google store, a glitch. It's fixed. They may take me offline, y'all, because I be saying some of everything. But I can go live and stream in all 4 of these apps. So we'll never be disconnected. So make sure you download those apps, turn on your notifications, because we're going to be sending some push notifications. Download the Larry Live app. You can donate in there. The Financial Wellness Plan app, you can download in there. The MBN Network app, you can donate in there. And then if you're in Patreon, you should have that app anyway. All right. Okay. Now, I want you to understand what you're donating. The one is for leadership, is for unity, it's the one mind. It's the unimind. It's also got to do with people operating as one. The number one, leadership. Then those 3 A's and gematria, which is one of the, I think that's the Jewish, numerology. The thing where you turn every letter has a numerical value, and I think this is only in gematria, where it spells Christ. So every time you donate three eights with 3 8s in it, you are saying Christ consciousness is what I want in my future. I want to be formed. That's the harvest that I want. And being that the seed is actually money, then you're going to get money back as well. But you always supposed to sow with an intention, because that's what's going to be the harvest in your life. Okay. Say it again now. Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all, I said Hebrew. I said Jewish. I said Jewish or Hebrew. I thought Hebrew, and I said what? I meant Hebrew. Reverend Scott's right. Okay, so this Friday I have a new EP that's coming out called Africa is Rising, and it's African beats and African pop with powerful lyrics that I wrote, and 7 tracks. You've heard Overcome, you heard God Don't Play About Me. All of that was prior to this body of work. It comes out Friday. When it comes out, I'm asking you guys to stream it, to post it, because every time I do it on live, the whiteness stops it. So I'm going to need for you guys to help me bombard. I'll remind you later this week to stream it. If you do iTunes and buy it, that's even better. Thank you, because I own all my songs. I write them all. Tasha Page Lockhart is going to be on this EP with me singing God Don't Play About Me. And there's so many other great songs. And one great song is about 1 minute and 50 seconds. I'm going to play it right now because it goes with what we're talking about. And you'll get it when I start playing it. And then after that, I'm going to come back and tell y'all the day that me and Bishop Jordan separated, okay? So I'm going to play this for you right now, and I hope you enjoy it. Pay close attention. Black that whiteness makes. Black skin. There is a black that whiteness makes. Black skinned people with white souls. I'm a different kind of X, Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, Marcus Garvey, and Gaddafi black. I'm black like that. All right, it's not going to let me play it because it's getting too close to the release date, and I think they're catching it. I hate you can't hear it, but it'll be out on Friday. It's called Black Like That. Because, some of us say they're a different kind of black. I'm not that kind of black. So let me go ahead and tell you the story. I'm not posting this. Not on IG. It's just gonna be. They had to find this over here. I don't foresee myself doing that because I don't want it played with. Because I repeat, do not dishonor Bishop Jordan in my presence. I understand telling the truth. I have to tell the truth, but you're not gonna be able to dishonor Bishop Jordan in my presence. You can't call him no names. None of that. That's just not gonna work. Let me see now. Oh Lord, I'm getting so many texts. A lot of people saying they're totally shocked. Yeah, I mean, you'll be all right. Y'all, we gotta be looking to spirit, God, however you say it, Christ, consciousness, love. We got to stay focused on our darn self. We can't be so looking at people. And I do understand being let down. I do. But I'm just saying, All right. So anyway, everything was regular. Let me tell the the truth like I told to my people. Now, if you are in Patreon, ain't none of what I'm saying new to you. You already knew all this November the something. And I want to say thank you to every last member of Patreon Tier 1, Patreon Tier 2, the Celestial Circle. Oh, Celestial Circle, thank you for being a listening ear, for being supportive, for being private. There's so many things I shared. I have never heard it anywhere. Y'all, that ain't easy amongst no black folk. And every friend in my life, associate, thank you. Private, and have kept it. Because that means a whole lot to me. Because I didn't want nobody playing with it. Because I'm not going to, somebody say, is your Cash App MBN Network Corp? Yes, with the green bag beside it. If it ain't got no green bag, it's somebody else. And make sure it's the real green bag. But let me go ahead and tell y'all the story so you can have the story. So, and I want nobody out here lying. But I know y'all gonna do it anyway. So in 2022, when God used Bishop Jordan along with the team to have my mom and dad, who had just left my house like 2 or 3 months prior, which was amazing. They stayed with me for 2 weeks. But as you guys know, because of me being the rebel with an anointing that I am all my life, I got saved at 15, so I've been like this for a long time. My mom and them struggled with parenting me. And I understand it. I understand it. It does not mean I still don't have, some wounds, some pain, and I do. I know my mama and daddy loves me. I know they know I love them. But it was still, we've been working on it. They came stay to my house. That was great. It was good. And they went back home with a brand new Escalade. I love my mom and dad. But we just haven't been able to have certain conversations. And Bishop knew that. And one of the main requests that I had, I said, I want to, and y'all can do whatever you want to do, but don't ask my parents to come. And really what that was, I did not want to hear, we asked them and they couldn't come. I didn't want to feel that let down. I just don't tell them nothing about it. That's really the reason why a lot of times invitations aren't sent back home to a lot of my family, because I don't want that experience. But now I have a new experience, so now I don't even have that thought no more. Because even my aunts came way down to Miami to Reformation one year. So that's not the case. But the Lord used them, Bishop and them, to do that. And when my parents walked in, if y'all saw it, it was nothing but a whole bunch of crying. It was like our hearts had conversations that needed to be had, but we did not have the wisdom or the wherewithal to have them. But we did it in minutes, but covered years. I was estranged from my parents a couple of decades. Now, great production of my life and my music, amazing. A little bit after that, I have said to Bishop, y'all heard me say it on the platform, I said, y'all the first family of prophecy. You and your son not talking 6 years. We can't really have that. Long story short, I'm going to give honor to other people as well. But if Bishop tells the story, Manasseh tells the story, it basically was me that brought them together. There was Luther McKinstry, Brian Carr, everybody was working all these years prior to me, I'm thinking. But when I got my hands in it, it was a couple of weeks, it was done. They were back in relationship. So after that, now mind you, y'all saw me, Bloomer, Pearson, Jordan, like that. Because we can go from talking something terribly prophetic and futuristic that ain't nobody else discussing, know nothing about, to something perverted off and ain't right And then come right back before you know it, then we sharing prophets in the mind of God. I was in heaven because I don't have people to discuss the things that I experienced with. I've always not had a plethora of that. So they were my friends, although they 20 years older, they're my friends. I enjoyed them. It was just excellent, amazing. And I noticed in 2022 that we would just became, it was more like friends, and I was enjoying friends, and I really wasn't being mentored. Although I guess, I mean, we were still in the mentorship relationship, but I just wasn't learning. It's like I was in another gear. And Spirit was talking to me about so much other stuff. And then sometimes y'all would say when he would come on the show, I'm like, I just said that. Oh, I didn't know that. You know, it would be like, oh, wow. You just come in and confirm somebody didn't know. And didn't know you knew that. And I've been saying it. So, but then me and Manasseh became friends in 2022. And it's a good thing that we know Jesus before we met. Called Aries and Aquarius together, that fire and that air, a whole mess. We still have a good time to this day. Love him. Love all of Jordan's children. Oh my God, Aaron is might be my favorite. Then it's Bethany, Naomi. Naomi is a businesswoman, a great mind. I love all of them. I love his wife. Oh, I love Joshua. His son Joshua Jordan. I love these people. So I didn't want to, I don't know if you ever been there before. Ladies probably have. Come on, go with me. I just enjoyed it. I ain't gonna go nowhere. But I knew that it was time. But I held on. And those last 2 years were the leanest years I've ever experienced in my life in so many different ways. Well, not in my life, in my new life. And I knew something was wrong, and I just ignored it. I explained away some things that were screaming in my face because of love. Then I just couldn't ignore anymore. So let me fast forward through all of that. I think that's personal. And let me get to, it's private. And let me get to November I want to say the 1st or 2nd. Was on the phone with Bishop. He was with Pastor Justin Edwards, who helps him and armor bears him in Chicago. Had a conversation. Something was said. I flung it off. I'm like, it ain't my business. I don't care. I forgot. I'm so used to leaving stuff out that I won't gonna tell you this, but you already know. Justin says, Larry, how do you feel about your mentor voting for Donald Trump? I was so locked into going to Ghana and taking these 12 to go and invest in Ghana that I was not thinking about none of this. I didn't care. And remember, I told you guys when y'all asked me in March what I feel about the election. I said, I don't see an election. It was right before the election. People asked me, I said, y'all, I still don't see an election. Now I understand because the election was not an election. That was a transaction. And I told you I would understand it better. Then I told y'all in April that Trump energy would rise and we probably would have him as the president. I talk politics, but I'm not really a political guy. The only time I'm political is when my propheticals make me, because I'm paying attention to something there. Other than that, I don't give a flip, typically. But that's changed now because I see how the seat of the presidency can affect me way down here in Atlanta. When before I was more concerned about, that midterm, because that's about those people around here. So I left. By the 8th, I think it was, Kendall, we were in Ghana. So, of course, you go to Ghana. Oh, I think I told this story, but maybe it was to the people in Patreon. We got there, went to a restaurant. It was off the beach, but it was nighttime. Those oxtails were amazing. And so all 12 of us walked out there to the beach. And we were talking like we normally do, but if you were with me there, you know what I'm saying is the truth. The closer we got to the water, it's like we stopped talking. The closer, well, at least it was like that for me. The closer I got to the water, it's like I was going into a world, into a realm. And I just wanted to go to the water. And I just moved a little bit to the right. And I heard the Holy Spirit say, you are not here. Speaking the mind of God, the Spirit. That's why I say Spirit, not the Holy Spirit. I want people been taught fun. I don't want to mix you up. Spirit began to say to me, you're not here for what you think you're here for. And then I began to go into my other gift where I'm able to hear in other realms. And I began to hear the voice of the ancestor. And they came as if they were a pillar of water and began to speak to me and said, you know, you here for investment. You brought these people to invest like you plan to do in Dubai, but that is not what you would do. You will plant a seed here. You must plant a seed. You cannot be as the colonizer. Plant a seed and build. I hear from the ancestor. I was doing it this morning. Y'all remember when some ancestor from the other side handed Trenton a glass of water, and then it was some man, and he was trying to take me over into the realm in my sight when I'm prophesying. Take me into the realm to show me his card that he had. I said, it's a brown card that he keep talking about, this brown card. And Trenton said, oh my God, I know exactly who that is. He had a brown Buick that he was really proud of and always showed people. So this ain't nothing new to me in this moment. So I was like impacted in a different way because it was a different exchange. And so, of course, I'm running tears. So I'm closing my eyes. I said, I don't know what's happening, what everybody else doing, but I'm doing too much. Let me get myself together. And so then I walked back, and it's almost like, that was amazing now looking back. It's like everybody at the same time came back and met together. And we ended up sharing what we experienced. And Nathan, I remember a guy actually came to him, and the guy said to him what the ancestors had just told me. And so we're sharing notes. I'm like, oh my God. And while we're talking this, the water is pretty calm. But then the ancestors come in water and come up and hit us. And the natives were saying, you know, that's them greeting you. I said, oh, well, wow, that was weird. Anyway, and so we left, we went there. The next day was Elmina Castle. Elmina Castle is the white name they gave it. Like Africa is the white name they gave the land. And it's a dungeon. People were tortured, something terrible there. So I was preparing myself. I said, but what I experienced last night, I'm probably going to go in here and I am going to begin to see and hear and sense. I think I even told Ken to have your phone ready because we're going to this place. So I'm saying I'm about to be locked in. My hand to God now. I went in there. I ain't here since peace of ancestor. Now I could feel the anguish, but I wasn't, it was very, for lack of better words, thick between me and that realm. So we went all around this building, went everywhere around this building. Oh, don't forget 1888. If you're watching, we went all around this building. And then we had to crawl down and say, this is the last spot. I said, good, because we don't walk. I'm tired. And I went up under there. And when I went in there, I said, oh, they're in here. The ancestors were in the room where the door of no return. So he was talking. The Spirit said, pray. And I said, excuse me, let me say something. I started praying. And that is when the Spirit uttered through me that from this moment moving forward, we will never be the same, and we will leave this place, and we must let our black light shine around the world. That was specific. And when I was praying that, the Spirit would tell me what to pray, but that part came from the ancestors. So, I mean, that thing came in the room. So then we left there. I was like, okay, that was a great experience, great. And so many people were impacted. That's okay, great. This wasn't about me, it's about them. So I go back, I'm trying to work at the same time. You know, when I'm in the other time zones, I still got to do my work. So I got back in the room. Charlene had planned to send us to this place, that place. And I think they may have went, but that ain't Larry. I got limits. And so I was like, nope, not going nowhere else. So then she sent me a text, in the group, I think it was, and it was talking about going to a museum. I didn't even know a Dr. Kwame Nkrumah existed. So I really had no desire to go. But I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and go, because I don't want to take these 12 people on a trip and then they don't even see me. They don't get to spend time with their personal property. All our ministry is digital. I need to show my face. So I was like, okay, I'll be there. I get up in the morning and go. So the next morning, we're going to a museum. I'm like, didn't really want to go. I didn't want that big of a thing. So we got there, and then when I was looking around, me, my apostolic guy, I'm like, that need to be fixed. Won't they fix that? I said, dog, God, if this had been about 2 years ago, I could have just donated about $300,000 and take that cash out of there, put it in there, and help them redo this. Because people coming from America, they need to fix this. That's what I was saying. I was saying that to Shamako. I was saying, you see that need to be fixed. Why are they doing it? I'm going through it. Because, that's just how I think. I always look at a thing and see how to make it better. So they show us the tomb where he lay, and then I'm Googling on my phone. They're telling us who he was. I'm like, oh, okay. Then they went to the back, and they said, this is the actual museum. They had a statue where the head was off. They're talking about the coup that happened, and they're telling all this. So by this time, I'm getting intrigued. I said, oh, this is interesting. Well, why would they overthrow the man? So the way this museum is, you start at the right, and you go from his infancy, birth, childhood, all of his ministry. At the same time, he's speaking over the thing. You're going through every stage of his life. I'm saying this man's relationship with America, particularly Kennedy, because it was close. Kennedy was 1 hour. And I'm hearing what he's saying and reading what he's saying. And he's saying in 62 what I have been saying for the past 13 years. Same phrases. I didn't know this man existed. Didn't know he existed. This was just as impacting as it was when I met Apostle John Eckhart many years ago. God always talked about the ways of Jesus Christ and the apostles, but he the one that gave me the term apostolic and the term prophetic from reading his books. That's why I invited him in. He came to our conference a couple of times because he gave me language. So when I'm reading this man who is deceased, gone, that I never knew exists, who was saying the same thing I was, something began to happen in me. It's almost like I was looking at me in the future that I had already lived. That's the best way for me to describe it. And I was so impacted. It was in my bones. It's almost like my bones were doing like this, shaking in my skin. But on the outside, I wasn't moving. But I was so deeply impacted. When we came out of that building, what day is that? Can somebody find out what day exactly? Charlene probably know what day exactly we went to the museum. I'm pretty sure she still got notes. Can you find out for me and answer? You got Charlene's number? Okay, so then we walk out that building. I'm talking to Marco. So I'm engaging with him, but I'm telling you what's happening in spirit. What's happening in spirit, I heard what I used to bring you here is not what I'm using to take you there. And my entire sight, I can see my hand way up here, and my peripheral is really good, so I can see way almost behind me, the way my peripheral is set up. All of my sight was filled up with Bishop Jordan. That's the only face I could see. So I was confused. And Spirit said, look to your left. And I looked to the left, and I saw Bishop Jordan. I saw Apostle Elijah Forte, my mentor before him. I saw Onyx Martin, his wife Catherine. I saw Edna and Kenneth Bond. I saw Bishop L.L. Stevenson and his wife Cassandra. Every person, Aunt Chicken, Cousin James, that ever were authorities impacted my granddad and my grandma that I lived with, I began to see everything, all the way back to my dad and mom, because they are my first spiritual parents, because they really birthed me into this thing. And I look back and I came to Jordan. I know now, didn't know then. That was Spirit saying it's complete. Your mentorship is complete. You are now a master. I know that now. But in the moment, I wasn't aware of all of what I was hearing because I was so confused with Jordan. I'm like, well, why not? I had really been in this struggle for about 2 years at this point. So I was like, is it that serious? I thought that was just a feeling I had, and yeah, I haven't been, it's been different, but Carlton's gone now. Jordan is by himself. I got to be the spiritual son, and that was something I was saying that I shouldn't have been saying, but I wanted him to feel endeared because he had been done wrong, and Manasseh wasn't in his life. He told me many times how I caused him to forget how mentees and his natural son had hurt him. That was out his words, and he said that to y'all. So I'm not telling you something you don't know. So yeah, I was just feeling I was split in two. So we left there. We ate. Woo, that was so good. That place. Every time I go to Ghana, I try to hit one place. I always hit, but I really want to hit all three of the other places. And they just the meat. I can't eat a whole lot of beef here, but over there I can eat all the beef I want. That beef so seasoned. So anyway, I was going through it, and I was talking to everybody, and I felt on some level a level of confusion. Couldn't make sense of it. It was November the 12th. Make sure you check that with Charlene before I jump. Oh, Naida was with me. Naida would know. I was playing on her arm with Scott. Naida's the smoothest person on her face. Her skin is like it make you jealous. See if you can find that out for me. If it's the 12th, I'm completely done. Because y'all know my numbers are 8 and 12. So anyway, I go to the room. I think I called the meeting because I knew, okay, that's it. But it was still a struggle, but I was a yes. Just like tonight. It's a struggle, but I was a yes. And so I started talking to the 12 that was there with me, and I started explaining. No, I didn't start talking to them until that was clear. So I came to my room out the blue. It was the 12th. That don't make sense. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. And that does make sense. Lord, it's 11:32. Let me get up off this thing. Okay, so let me go faster. Bishop Jordan texted me out the blue and said, no, let me just read it, the part that I can read. All right, here we go. I gotta scroll up because we text a little bit after that. November the 15th. So we went there the 12th. So you see there been some days, like I said. He texted me, it was 12 on the 15th in Ghana. And he said, I trusted the Lord. Your trip is running well. I said, hey, Bishop, life changing. I don't know if he picked up something, felt something, but it was about 7 or 8 or 9 hours later. And he sent me this long text. I'm not going to read it, but he basically said to me, we had an exchange where it was a little, and the exchange was as it was. And mind you, this is the second funny exchange. I'll tell you about the first one. No. This happened first. So this is the first funny exchange. What ended up happening, because by the time from the 12th to the time he texted me, I called Manasseh. I don't think Manasseh mind me saying this. And I said, Manasseh, if your father was no longer my mentor, will we still be friends? I basically saying, is this real or not? He was like, yeah, that ain't got nothing. That's my dad, but I said, okay, fine. I have a good time with Manasseh. He get on my last nerves, and I have to cuss him out. He cussed me back. We go back and forth. We don't talk for 3-4 months. Then we come back together because it just works. We know all each other. I ain't gonna say all, a few little secrets and stuff. We are really regular horizontal friends. So I enjoy that because I always wanted a younger brother, and I never had one. So anyway, in that exchange, this was what was the first, what I believe to be was heaven's way of saying, Larry, do not get into your feelings and renegotiate this disconnect, because I will. Let me tell y'all that about me. I'm the person that obey what God say, but I struggle when I love somebody. I tend to get in trouble with heaven because I love people. And I go back on stuff, and then ultimately I'm gonna obey God, but I be hurt the person so bad because I done took them up and down and up and down and up and down. Like y'all saw me do it with Lisa. We got married, divorced. That was me. Because when I know this is what I need to do, but I love you so well, it's a lot. And I believe I probably would have done that because I want you to be very clear. I'm going to say it like this, and I know somebody can play with it. I was in love with him. He has never seen my peen. I ain't never seen his. Ain't none of that. And I heard that too as well. No, this is a spiritual, energetic. We talked on the phone 8 hours to 9 hours a day, several times a week. In 2018, first part of 2019, then it cut back to about 2 or 3 hours a day for 2019 and 20, because my kids came back to me. Yeah. So this is a relationship. Granted, I didn't see him all the time as much as everybody else, but we were in relationship. I was in covenant with him. Taruma, Ty. I am no feelings about not a dime I ever gave. I gave it from my heart. I don't even know how people could, they're in relationships and they don't want none of this from that person. And I guess I do understand it, and they be wanting this back. Give me my money back. Give me my, okay. I don't know what that is, but I don't have that. And I actually think there's something wrong with that. Anyway, so that conversation, what he said to me was the exact opposite of what God had told me. So I said, okay, that's a confirmation. You're not gonna put this back. We're not gonna be as we were. Hopefully we still be friends and still have communication, because I like talking to who else I'm gonna talk to about certain stuff. And so Then another conversation happened. And this is where I'm going to say this because Spirit, I believe, wants me to say this. And this may seem like a breach of privacy. I know it's not because I'm sure he shared it. I know he shared it, actually. So I'm going to say it. There was some lady, I don't know her name. See, I wasn't in Poem. I wasn't in Zoe Ministry, the church stuff they had going on. I don't know what, nothing except my dealings with Jordan and his family and a few others. So there was some lady that left their ministry. I don't know. Well, I do know. I'm just not saying. He says some things that made at least this woman, feel like, oh, he's voting for Trump. I don't want him as my pastor no more. So whatever it was, according to Bishop, he had to address it in his service online because I guess it became a big thing. So his statement was, and this is a problem for me. It was a problem then because we sort of got into it, and that's not abnormal. Men do that. He said to me, Manasseh, he says, because she done what she done and she moved the way she moved, I had to say something about it. He basically thought it was immature and she was improper and not moving correctly. Nobody really knows who he voted for. And her. So I was like, I think it's improper to say she's immature just because she don't want you as her pastor anymore because she don't agree with the way that you voted. I said, that's her money, her tithe, her offering to give what she want to give it. If she feel like she don't want to give it to somebody that is aligned with somebody that she thinking right, that is her business. And we went back and forth a little bit. I can't remember. I don't think Manasseh was saying much. I think he could tell because they're going back and forth. And then it was like, well, he told his people, nobody here knows who I voted for. So to leave the ministry because you think I voted for Trump is da-da-da. So I said, Bishop, really? You voted for Trump. And then he was like, no, nobody knows. You want the ANC. I said, I won't behind the curtain in the booth with you. But we all prophets here. I know that you voted for Trump. Because see, by this time in between those days, I'm remembering stuff. And in that conversation, I remember I told you earlier, but Justin Edwards told me on the phone the second or the third, how you feel about your mentor voting for Trump. I said, he rich, so he can vote for that. But I was in another headspace. But now what the universe was spending in my favor now was giving me confirmations on an encouragement to maintain what God has spoke to me, which was to disconnect. And so that was a problem for me. I'm like, I said, I know you, this is what I said, and this was it may seem disrespectful. I said, I know you voted for Trump. And the fact that you won't say you didn't let me know you did. That's like playing games. I felt like it was manipulative. And then I thought it was a manipulation of his people. I didn't think it was right. So that was a confirmation being, nope. I can't pull up with that type of manipulation. Don't talk a certain kind of way and leave stuff I didn't know. Don't do that. No. And I'm giving you my money and calling you my personal prophet and pastor. I said, they ain't gonna. So that day, I didn't send another dime to Zoe Ministries at all. However, I still was doing Teruma because Teruma is tied to honor as well. And I wanted to honor him. I wanted to continue to honor him for those 5 years of 2019 to 2024 of mentorship. So I continue to do the Teruma. But conversations like pretty much stopped. I think one day when somebody was online saying, because Bishop hadn't been on my platform for a long time, they were saying, oh, they broke up, they not boyfriends no more, all this kind of stuff. And they was, this was the thing. They were online saying Bishop had bought my Rolls Royces, my Maybach, my S-Class Mercedes, bought this 15,000 square foot house. I mean, you know, they're saying that Bishop was paying my bills because I was his boy. Mm-hmm. And I was getting interviewed by Conscious TV around that same time, so he brought it up. And he asked me. And I was sort of dancing around stuff, but when they told me that part about, you know, him financing me, my ego wanted to set that straight. So I said, so how much money do y'all think that Bishop Jordan gave me? Now, I know the exact number that him, his wife, and his ministry collectively, plus this $200,000 or $300,000 loan that we were supposed to get from his ministry. No, this is from him before the ministry. And we're supposed to make payments. All together, that came to about, from 2019, when I say yes to mentorship, up until November 2024, I knew that they had given about $800,000, including that loan money. I knew that off the top of my head. So I asked them, like, how much y'all think he gave? They said, I said, he and his wife in ministry gave the minister about, I can't remember what number I said. I think I had left out some money. I might have said 700 or 6, but I later on cleared it up with 800,000. I said, somewhere around there. I said, that's how much money they have given to me, meaning the ministry, from 2019 to 2024. And I was saying, people read like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. I'm saying to myself, okay. I said, you didn't ask me how much I gave to them. I said, okay, well, how much did you give to them? I said $3 million, about $3 million. So that just killed that whole Jordan giving Larry money thing. No, Larry giving Jordan money and my platform. And I'm glad I did. I did it with love, and I would do it again. But God said that was it. So anyway, that was a change, and that was laughing fun, you know, the jokes, called it was lies, so we were laughing about it. But then it just got real silent. But I did send him a Christmas offering. He sent me an umbrella. I said, okay, so we're gonna still be able to be friends, because the position that I had took you guys by leading, that I thought in the beginning was not wise. Me and Manasseh thought, he thought it wasn't wise. But sitting here on this day, looking at everything happen, it was the best direction to take. I said, God told me to embrace him as a mentor because he asked me to mentor me. And I went prayed and got God's direction on it. I said, and God's telling me it's over. I'm just going to follow God, stay nice, friendship, but I got to start directing my money in the direction, because God told me, when God spoke to me about not using what came here, there, it was like in between those days, I began to get ideas about money. And that's when I began to talk to those around me about what I was going to be doing. So, so I didn't do another tithe. Now, my tithe that came from the ministry, Lord, I'm only thinking about that. I'm not thinking about my personal tithe. I will send it to Zoe as well. But we talking several tens of thousands of dollars every month in a lump. And so I just stopped it and started redirecting it to what God said. And it just felt to me that something was breaking, and I didn't like it. I was still doing my teruma. I'm full blasting the word. I'm so locked into what God is telling me to do in Ghana and Dubai that I'm really not giving a lot of attention to it. And then at that time, Manasseh was upset with me about something, which is normal. And so we weren't talking for a little space in there. But then Manasseh called me on my birthday. Now, in me and Bishop relationship, birthdays are very important. But long story short, what ended up happening was in January, I went to do my to rumor. I did it. That was the first time I felt something like I'd done something wrong. I felt like I had committed a sin. And I said, oh, that's it. I can't do Taroma no more. This might not go good. We might not end up, because I still wanted the relationship. I said, this might not work out. Okay. If it's a real relationship, we'll be all right. So then one day, I was just doing something and I thought of him and I just smiled. Because I love him. And when I went, oh my God, all my text messages for him just erased before my eyes. I didn't delete it, but I remember it. What I said was, I'm thinking about you. I love you. Missed you or something. He texted me back. You've caused me to remember the pain of mentorship, which was totally different. I mean, he said opposite for years. So I said, well, that's a lot. And he said, I will always love you too. And in that moment, I said, okay, something ain't right. So my response back was, look, with that response, there's something that's not right. Okay, look at somebody coming here tonight. You done fell out with Bishop Jordan too. But see, I don't fall out with people. People fall out with me. I just stopped embracing him as a mentor because I gotta obey God. That's what I do in my life. But that didn't, that's not falling out. So I texted him back. I said, okay, we got to sit down. We got to have a talk. When you saying that, something ain't right. Let me know when, because he flies everywhere. I said, let me know where you're going to be, Chicago, New York, so we can have a sit down and talk. That was the last time there was any communication between me and him. That was in January. My birthday came. There was no communication, which me and him have the same practice. A few days out from birthday, we'll survey our life. Every solar return, you should do that. Every solar return, and how people respond and show up in your birthday let you know who need to be in your life for the next 12 months. So that was him, in my opinion, telling me it's complete or something. Okay. So I just moved on. And I didn't hear from no one. But Manasseh, it's funny, called me my birthday. I said, oh, we just brothers. And so I'm mad at you because I done something. I said, well, I told you that. Well, I'm coming to Atlanta tomorrow. I'm gonna stop by the house, and came out of the house with laugh, cut up, and talk. So that's still regular. But that is the timeline. That is what happened. You deserve to know that. Am I telling everything? No, because that ain't your business. But I did set Bishop Jordan on this platform over and over. He had conversations with us that were sort of Black liberationists. And then you, bam, see this video. And I know that impacted you in a deep way. So we're having problems. This video ain't showing up. So that's why the other video ain't play. Yeah. So that's the story. Are you guys complete? I'm complete. There will not be a second show about this. I don't care who say what. That's it. Because I don't want to give any space and place to any Jordan disrespect. You think about what you thought about him before you saw the video. Does that mean that everything you thought about him was wrong and off? No. That's an aspect of your experience of his ministry. Now you're finding out something else. So now you say, okay, now I'm done with that. And that makes sense. If you're Black, you can't support the oppressor, and you can't support nobody that's supporting the oppressor. You do not fund your own oppression. There's no way for you to do that. You can be out of alignment and still have honor. You can be mad as hell at someone and still have honor. Mad day, you don't get up here and tell all secrets and everything. So, bruh, Larry ain't that person. I'm not mad. I'm hurt, disappointed. I'm not disgusted. I saw y'all say that. But I'm definitely complete. I wish him well, his wife well, his family. I'm pretty sure I'm still got to talk to Bethany and Naomi and Manasseh, because just how our life is set up, and probably Joshua too, because we just always laugh and have a good time. But I am not in agreement, alignment, and I have nothing to do with anything that he has going on. I'm not sending a seed of $2 because it feels like that I am putting it in Donald Trump's hand. And I can't do that. And the other reasons as well. But I am not funding the oppression of my people. And I'm not putting my money in the hands of anyone that is going to be supporting the oppression of my people. And I say my people, I'm not talking about just Black-skinned people, because some of them ain't my people. I'm talking about those that are disenfranchised, those that, oh my God, I've been done so wrong. I can't even stand to look at that Gaza Strip videos. Them kids are hungry. What kind of country are we? What? That is nuts to me. And I don't know how anybody can be okay with that at all. All right. I'm gonna let you go. I will drop the link, but it's I don't want to, just simple as that. I'm still probably gonna be up. It's gonna take me a while to wind down. War Leap of Love, this is the way I see it on. And don't forget, May the 23rd, Africa's Rising Project. And when y'all see me post it, please comment and hit like, because they hide it everywhere. I'm about to post a little clip on IG. They hide it every single darn time. So I need your help with that. Okay? What you saying? Oh, don't forget, before you leave, 1888 is still the 18th. You can do it as a Taruma to Dr. Larry D. Reid Ministries, INC, or you can do it on the right to the MBN network. There are 2,040 of you on. I don't know how many people are on Facebook. All of you guys need to hit like and share and donate. Excuse me. What you donate here is also helping in Ghana. Remember that now. Every donation you do here, we are rising the people of Africa beginning, excuse me, in Ghana. Oh my God, I'm tired of coughing. Goodbye.
I want to say thank you to all of you that watched the Larry Reid Live Show, all of the patrons of the Larry Reid Live Show, and the members of Reformation Church of Atlanta. Because of all of you guys, we are now able to do things like this and impact here in Ghana. I'm sitting right here in Ghana right now, and we are creating the very first company and have already hired one person. And we're going to create other companies and hire Ghanaians and pay them their worth. So it's my objective, and I feel this assignment deeply, to create businesses and pay them their worth. I see China here, I see Italy here, I see Russia here, I see Germany here, Norway, creating great companies, and the Ghanaians aren't being paid proper. This is modern day enslavement. And it is my assignment and your assignment to make sure that we put power in the hand of Ghanaians. And we're starting in Ghana. We're going to go to so many different places and make sure that the African people are rising and leaving legacies for their children. And I want you to join me. Continue to donate to the MBN network, and this is how you can do it. Go right now to www.MBN, that's Mary Boy Nancy Network, 2 N's in there, .org, not .com. Click donate, and you will help us empower the Ghanaians in this area. Some of you watching me say, I really, really want to do a great donation straight to the Africa is Rising Project, Project AIR. Well, this is what you can do. You can go right now to projectafricaisrising.com. And when you click donate, your monies go directly into Africa. I need all of you to help. And we are going to be doing this thing for the years ahead. And many people's lives are going to be changed. I want to say thank you to so many of you that have already donated. Continue to donate, and we are going to assist Africa in her rise. Take care. This is Dr. Larry D. Reid of the Larry Live Show, MBN Network, and the Reformation Church of Atlanta saying thank you